Hey everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade, and today I'm going to be taking a look at a short trade here. This is based off of a fake break high above the BMTs here, so I'm looking to hop in short. I mean, my target's in place here. We'll go down there, and the first target's actually already in place. Perfect. So I'm looking short right now, 1099.9 on the Russell here. Looking to the downside, first target's going to be at 98.4. Second target, looking for a bigger move lower back to the low of day, down to 1094.5. Now again, the reason I like this move is typically what we look for is we wait for this fake break to form and then buy support somewhere down here. But the problem with that is you miss this whole move, right? You don't actually catch the sell to the lows. Well, right now what we're seeing is an attempt to go above the BMTs, this big yellow line right here, this big red cloud, actually, they're both the BMTs. We break above them. Now we're tagging the open and a couple other dotted lines here. These are big areas of support and resistance. And even though we've broken above them by a little bit, measuring this up, this puts our fake break box right here, and you can see we're right inside of it. Now on top of that, you've also got the big round number at 1100 that we have to worry about, and that's why we're selling underneath it at 99.9. So even though it does look like you'd be crazy to be going short right now, this is the perfect place to be going short. So right now we're in short 1099.9, looking at 4 contracts. I'm going to take 3 off here at 98.4, just assuming, trying to get that, that scalp off first, and then we'll see if it wants to fall from there. But that first target's going to be 15 ticks. So if we do get that first one off, 3 off of 15 gives us 45, and then we'll just look to catch a runner back down to the low of day. That'll be another 54. So the overall trade, 15 at 3, plus another 54. Looking at 99 ticks. I almost want to move one by one tick just so we can get 100. But 99 ticks on the trade, $990, if we can catch that move back down to the lows. So obviously the first target we need to get hit first here at 98.4. And if you're a little bit more conservative, you could look to possibly put it right at the BMT here. But typically this pattern usually comes with a relatively strong drop lower. And the fact that we're respecting this reversal box up here between 1100.2 or so up to 1101.1, that's a really big indication that we should be seeing this drop quite a bit lower here, probably back to the low of day. That's the hope at least, but at least to get that first target filled. So we'll be back in a little bit, see if we can get that first target filled, lock in those 45 ticks. We can get our stop to break even at that point, and then we can just trail on down as we go. So we'll be back in a little bit and see if they can drop it. All right, we're 1 tick away from our first target here. There we go, got that one filled. Let's get the stop to break even here, and then we'll allow this thing to continue to fall. So right now we've got 45 ticks locked in, 3 off at 15. Now we're just going to see how far this thing wants to fall. I'm really gunning on the fact that we should be coming back to these lows again, back to the low of day. We may go a little bit farther than that, don't get me wrong, but I want to get out at the low of day. I don't want to try to force the market to go any lower than it really wants to. And typically the low of day does act as a relatively strong area of support and resistance. So we'll be looking at the low of day at 1094.4. I'm just going a tick ahead of it to try to get my fill rather than putting it right on the low, seeing it bounce to the tick and then reject straight back up and I miss a big runner. We don't want that. So I'm putting my target right here at 94.5, looking for the drop lower here. And yeah, so we're sitting up 45 ticks on the trade already. Gorgeous trade. Now we're just waiting for a little bit of a drop lower. So we'll be back in hopefully a little bit, and we'll see if we can get that final target runner filled. All right, we're coming 1 tick away from our target here. Testing it. There we go. Got it filled. Beautiful. So that was that drop that we're looking for. And again, we wanted to get out just ahead of this low of day. I want to make sure that I get filled. I don't want to get a chance, where it tests the low of day where my target may have been, get a double bottom, and then it shoots straight up. You don't want to deal with that kind of hassle. So we got our target out at 1094.5 and our first target off at 15. So again, overall, it does lock in 99 ticks. It drives me kind of crazy. But we got the 99 ticks, $990 on the trade. On just a beautiful fake break to the highs. And this is a not very common pattern, but when it does set up, and it sets up this beautifully, when it respects that area of rejection, I'm definitely intrigued. I want to be on this one. Now, if you do have more contracts on the deck, I only took 4 on this one, but if you do have more, you are able to trail down and just keep going down with all of these little kind of pokes higher, little swing highs, and just see what you can get out of it. But make sure to be a little bit more aggressive on this final one, just because you're kind of expecting it to turn back around anyway. So that's going to be the trade for today, 99 ticks. If you have any questions about it, feel free to send an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.